Can you be so kind as to give me a check?
Check, check, check. Got some echo.
That's alright.
Echo.
I love doing this shit. Fuck around. What's up, guys? Patrick here. I'm along again with my dear friend Matt, and we're at our good friend Cassie's house, who is closing on this house in a couple weeks, and the bank is requiring her to do a survey. So lucky for her, her dear friend Matt here is a surveyor. So I know nothing about surveying, so I'm along for the ride, but I'm here to learn.
Did you say surveyor?
Surveyoring? Today we're going to be surveyoring. Is that the right word?
Surveying.
I know.
Yeah.
We're surveying. We're surveyors.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know nothing about it. Matt's the pro. I'm going to be following around with the camera. He's going to be talking a bunch of shit. And that's that. So I'm just along for the ride. He's going to roll this.
So, for the better part of the last 20 years or so, I've been in the business of doing land surveying and civil engineering. I don't just hang out with my buddy Patrick and watch him build stuff or make jokes. I actually have a job. I do something for that. So I'm going to go through real quick. I think it's very important that anyone that owns property, whether it's your house or if you just own land or whatever the case might be, you need to be able to...
He's here. Good. What's up, brother? Bucket. What's going on?
Gas house.
We're gonna make a little house video on some shit.
Survey.
Put on YouTube?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Haven't you seen my videos yet?
No. No, I haven't seen any of your videos. I've heard about a couple of them. Because apparently you were a little bit intoxicated in the garage making videos. In the garage. About making oil. Next.
Oh yeah, we're pretty drunk on that one.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Go get some shit picked for that.
Thank you, buddy.
Right, thanks. To start with, you're going to need paperwork. To get your paperwork, what you need first is the deed for your property. Now, we're talking about stuff in St. Louis County, Missouri. That's where I work, normally St. Louis, St. Charles. But this kind of works the same for anywhere you are. It doesn't really matter. The process is going to be basically the same. What you're looking for is the land description. For this particular property, the land description is pretty easy. Now, there's two different ways land properties can be described. One is a meets and bounds, which means start at this point and go this angle, this direction, this many feet. From there, go this angle, this direction, this many feet. And it basically draws a line around your property. Or it can be recorded as a lot in a subdivision. This particular one is called Lot 3 of the re-subdivision of part of lots 13 and 14 of Wallace Addition to Overland Park. It's in St. Louis County, Missouri. So using that description, I know it's a re-subdivision of part of lot 13 and 14 of Wallace Addition to Overland Park. I have to look for Overland Park. The Wallace Addition to Overland Park, and then I want to look for the re-subdivision of lots 13 and 14 of Overland Park. It sounds a little misconstrued, or it might be almost redundant sometimes. It seems like you're talking about a lot of stuff. But I'm going to explain what that is. Another good thing to get, usually, and especially in St. Louis County, they give you aerial photographs. You can go online and look at the aerial photographs of the property, and you can see how the land is laid out. It's basic information, but it is very helpful. So to start with, these are old recorded plats. The original plat, as it was called, is the Wallace Addition to Overland Park. This is what it looks like. This is a copy, and if you can see right there, it says the Wallace Addition to Overland Park. That's the name of the plat. This is the plat. And this lot is re-subdivision of lots 13 and 14. So if you see lots 13 and 14, so it's going to be a re-subdivision of those lots, which those are pretty big lots. So we start off with that. Well, then I'm going to look for the re-subdivision. And all this information is available online in Missouri. You've got the state land surveyor records. They have all this stuff online. You can download it, look at it. There's all kinds of neat stuff in there. But this is the re-sub. I love this stuff, by the way. This is some of the coolest stuff you'll ever see. So this is the re-subdivision of parcel lots 13 and 14 of, pretty cool. And then the lot is actually part of this. If you can read this, you've got, like I said, meets and bounds. It gives you angles, directions, it tells you where the road is, how wide the road, and that's a good basis to start from. You know where the road is, go to the middle of the road, stand in the middle of it, and you can pace off or measure out. 25 feet, this is a 50-foot wide road, 25 feet, so you know generally where the property line is in the front, and that's a good basis to start from. Then you want to go to a corner, like right here, and you know, we'll basically build this whole subdivision looking for monumentation. So very cool. This plat here was recorded 1948, July 15th, 1948. The original plat, if I'm not mistaken, filed for record May 10th, 1911 at 4:03 o'clock p.m. Pretty cool. So as I was explaining before, this is a re-subdivision of 2 lots in another subdivision. The original subdivision is Wallace Addition to Overland Park, lot 13 and 14. So the lot that we're working on is a re-subdivision of these 2 lots, which are pretty big lots. I mean, this is 295 feet long, 327 feet long. You know, this is 221 feet. So this is a pretty big lot, and it's been subdivided into 7 different lots.
Okay, so moving on from that.
So from here, this overall size, that comes to this.
Let me zoom in on that.
So this is those 2 lots. And
Hold on.
Sure.
Okay. All right, cool.
So this is the original 2 lots. This is the old lot line went right through here. This is lot 13. This is lot 14. Re-subdivided those into lots 1. This part was actually excluded. Probably an individual already owned the house and was there and he didn't want to participate in this re-subdivision. They probably just cut it out. So lot 1, lot 2, lot 3, lot 4, lot 5, lot 6. Lot 3 is the one we're doing. The shift lot 3 is here, and you can see where that falls in. I was explaining earlier, there was...
Can you move that up just a little bit? That one up just a little bit.
Move it up?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay. So at some point somewhere, and I didn't do the research on the deeds on this one, but I can tell by looking at this is the active property map for the county, and this lot, which was originally left out right in here, the property line, the north property line on it was moved at some point up to here. So we can see on this lot, this is the property line. They moved this property line up to here at some point. So when I go out and we're looking for corners, I'm actually going to look at this corner, see if I can find something there, which is the old lot line. And I'm also going to be looking at the new lot line that was moved here. I'll be looking in this area as well. And usually you can look, it's pretty easy to find property lines these days because there's fences. Fences don't constitute a property line, but they're usually built very close to property lines. They're usually pretty accurate. So next up here is to go through the tools of the trade. Take a look down here. This is the old Schonstedt magnetic locator. It's just metal detector. Very sensitive instrument, but they get beat around pretty bad. Next thing you need is a hammer. This one's a hatchet. It's got a hammer back. And guards. These are what we call guards or lathes. Some people call them stakes, whatever you want to call them. And then paint, flagging. I like to use pink when we're looking for property lines. P for pink for property. Tape measure here. It's your old sharpshooter shovel, spade for digging up property corners. Then you got your paperwork. You need your nice bucket to put everything in when you're looking for things. And hold on. Plat's trusty little tool here is a must. It's 100-foot tape. Surveyors call it a chain. Back in the old days, if you look at old surveys, they were measured by chains. Chains were 33 1/3 feet long, I think, something like that. And it was a literal chain. Surveyors in the 16, 17, 1800s, they would take a chain, they'd carry a chain, and they would pull chain. And that's how they would measure stuff. We still call these chains now, like I said, in the survey world, but it's just 100-foot tape. It's cool stuff.
All right.
They'll take it'll be like concrete. It'll be a piece of concrete, and about yay tall, about 18 inches, kind of shaped square at the top, and then tapers out pretty big at the bottom. They'll make a giant hole. And that concrete, that piece of concrete, the concrete monument, has an iron rod in the middle of the concrete, and then on top of the concrete it'll have a cross cut on it. So you can find it magnetically, but it's actually like a stone. Back in the old days, old surveyors, they just get like, old piece of stone and put a cross on it, and big rock, put it in the ground, and all you can find is the rock. But then they start making monuments in the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. And they put metal in it so that they can go find it with a metal detector. Now, our problem here
It's the fence.
is going to be a fence. Let's try this one down here first. But the property line's right behind the sidewalk.
What are we looking for, by the way? Old street pole or old fence pole?
Could be a fence post. Problem is, it's right at the property corner, which means there might not be anything here.
It's a real life, I know. It's a real life, I know. I wanna get out and see the world of the beautiful things this summer brings, and everything in between. I don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up. 'Cause I'm living no remorse, not giving a shit about paying back the recourse. You see, I paint pictures of ghosts.